Hello, everybody. It's Max with Crypto Talk Now. This morning, I saw some of the recent FUD in regards to Jasmy, and of course, I thought I would take more of a deeper look into what's going on because let's face it, there's a lot of panic going on as we speak. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this. First of all, on CMC, the overall crypto market, before we get into a little bit more of this, is at 1.12 trillion. When I saw my watch list, I saw Jasmy on the 24-hour chart. It's down 23% roughly. On the 7-day chart, 18.26%. And when people look more into it, this is a big drop off compared to where we were. Now, what is this all about? Well, there's a whole slew of things that basically recently happened. Let's start off with the most recent one. This comes straight from Jasmy Management. They state that they will start the space from Thursday, May 11th, which is tomorrow at 12 p.m. JST. The participants are Hara, Moonlight ST, and they also tag Binance, as in CZ Binance and so on, right? Emergency press conference. So, it says, I said it was tomorrow. Technically, that's tonight at 8 o'clock my time. So that would be Pacific Standard Time. So 11 p.m. Eastern. All right, we'll have to tune into that. I want to show you a little bit more in regards to what is going on, just in case you haven't caught up yourself with this. So it says from Jasmy Management, dear Binance users, Jasmy community members, regarding this disturbance, we basically hurried to post the content on Medium. They're going to make appeals going forward that we're, up and running. Please continue to support Jasmy. What is that all about? Well, we're going to jump into that here in a moment. Hara, before this came out, he had this response, and of course, a lot of people were, I guess you could say, like, they didn't even consider this really a response. I was kind of one of them. Says Jasmy operates an IoT platform that can securely handle personal data. As we announced, we have patented it in Japan and have many use cases, including remote call centers. We're preparing a new project to incorporate our token economy. We'll continue to develop our dissemination. And you got to keep in mind, some of the responses from the community, like this guy. What are you trying to say? What does this have to do with Binance? I mean, some of this was like, even Jasmy Pirate, shout out to him. He was like, this is nothing substantial, just an attempt to calm down the mob. I mean, maybe, I'll give Hara the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he just didn't do a good job of collecting his words, I guess you could say, in that regard. So, of course, right after that was the previous one I just showed you right here. Here's the piece from Medium. It says, dear Binance users and Jasmy community members, we, the Jasmy official team, regret the decision of Binance Exchange to move Jasmy to the innovation zone. And of course, we're going to get more into that here in a bit. However, we firmly believe that the development and achievements of Jasmy in the blockchain industry cannot be overlooked. In this article, we will quickly review the stage achievements of Jasmy and look forward to the realization of the 2023 roadmap. First, Jasmy has successfully launched the personal data locker. I mean, we know about some of these things, right? They give you kind of a heads up. Talk about Ghost Drive. It says, in terms of Jasmy tokens, we currently have 50,191 holders. I mean, that was a big milestone, right, for Jasmy recently. On the Ethereum and 5,182 holders on the BNB chain. Moreover, in the past month, Jasmy's trading volume on Binance Exchange reached $250 million, and the trading volume in the past 3 months was as high as $1.2 billion. And I want to point that out. It's not like, Jasmy hasn't done tremendous volume lately. They definitely have. So if that's an issue, if that's Binance is, one of the key things that they're trying to outline, as far as a negative aspect, that's simply not true. They're killing with the volume. So these data fully prove the liquidity and market demand for Jasmy tokens. And knowing that, I mean, we also leaped to, 97th overall at one particular point on CMC rankings. We were in the top 100. It says, looking forward, Jasmy's 2023 roadmap includes several important developments. We will expand the coverage for secure PC products in the Asian market, providing services to regions including Taiwan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, and India. In addition to our fan token app, of course, is Sagantosi, right? They have that to collaborate with them to, attract more fans. But they're also preparing to enter to challenging carbon credit market with our blockchain technology at the core, playing a key role in carbon emission quota management. And that's one of the key things I want you guys to take away from this. Try to remember this key thing because we're going to have an outline that's going to get more into this. So furthermore, our proud Jasmy grant funding program will support innovative ideas and initiatives, yada, yada, right? You get the gist. Despite Binance's regrettable decision, we believe that Jasmy will continue to achieve significant results in the IoT and blockchain fields. We look forward to working with you to create a bright future in Web3 from the Jasmy official team. And if anything, I still have no doubts about Jasmy, even with some of the recent things that have happened. Now, in regards to that, there was some other things that were listed within the last day or so. This was literally posted, I believe, yesterday, because today's the 10th. So Hara posted this yesterday. He says, the more unsettling the news, the earlier we try to respond. There are 7 Jasmy-related pairs on Binance. 2 of them with low liquidity and volume have been delisted. No need to worry. The most important one, of course, is Jasmy/USDT, and I would agree with him because that does the most volume. He gives you some examples of like what you see right here, right? And even Jasmy Pirate goes on to mention, he says, can you give us some information on Binance's news about the listing in the innovation zone? Does this mean that trading pairs does this only mean these trading pairs, or is it Jasmy about to delist completely? And one thing that they have mentioned, for instance, over at this thing from Binance, is an outline in regards to this, right? So one of the things to note, it says that, users can still trade above assets and trading pairs. They still are available on Binance. But there was a complaint that Binance received from, I guess you could say, the community. They didn't like the idea that, Binance just straight up like delist things. They felt as though that Binance should like give certain projects a chance, right? So this is this, they call it, like the innovative. It moves from just a flat delisting to, it gives them a chance to see which ones can be innovative or meet their criteria, right? Basically speaking. And so they go on more about that. And, some of the consistent complaints, and I'll pull this up right here. Shout out to Zippy, who reported some of this stuff. And, like it says, Jasmy is now classified as a no progress project. That's where I was going with this. So now Jasmy needs to prove it, or they will delist from Binance. That was the basic thing. This is, I guess you say, one way of Binance trying to justify, listening to the community, instead of just flat out delisting things. They have this, right? And of course, CZ Binance, post this, and he says, as some of you suggested, instead of direct delistings, we will move to no progress projects to innovation zone first. If they still don't improve, we may delist, one more immediate step. But to a sense, it's kind of hypocritical, right? Because some of the ones that are on this list is like FTT. Are you kidding me? How is FTT gonna you're gonna move that to innovation zone? No, that should have been flat out delisted. So a lot of people have pointed that out, hence what you see right there, FTT, right? So I just wanted to kind of bring some of this up to you guys. One of the key things I want to show you guys in this outline is this right here. This comes from Jasmy US. It says, our team has created the Innovation Zone, which will allow users to, trade newer token offerings from the comfort of their Binance account. Kind of a little reiteration I just mentioned, while at the same time protecting less suited users from being exposed to the risk that comes with trading them. What led us to create the Innovation Zone is our dedication to giving Binance users a safe place to trade new innovative projects. Now, I like Jasmy US's take on this because this is probably one of the best takes I've seen, to be honest. He states, Jasmy absolutely is an innovative new project that is building its ecosystem. True, it is. I mean, you see what's going on, for instance, with what? With Jasmy's grant program. That's the whole point of the grant program, is to be able to bring innovative um, you know, organizations and so on to build out that ecosystem. As the saying goes, like I said before many times, all they need is one real key rising star to really help. Kind of like, for instance, with Cardano, you have Singularity Net. Jasmy just needs something like that. They're good, right? But any ecosystem from any particular blockchain project needs just that. They need an ecosystem. They need to have something to build, right? So I would agree with them on this. It says it passed strict regulation in Japan. It has, and has a quality management team. And on top of that, with those strict regulations, Jasmy happened to be the first of its kind to do just that. Be a blockchain solution in a particular country that doesn't exactly have thousands of cryptocurrencies, right? That's why they call Jasmy the Bitcoin of Japan, because it's the first, if you will. It says, for instance, let's be real, the timing of this move by CZ Binance is questionable at best. I would agree with that. Logically, if Binance really cares about protecting their customers from risk and volatility, then it should have moved Jasmy to the innovation zone at the very beginning of dilution well over a year ago. I mean, he's hitting all the key things. Very, very true. How about this? I mean, during the time of, that 2022 roadmap, let's face it, that roadmap was not impressive. The 2023 one is very impressive. It says, in addition to being moved with dead exchange tokens, including Grifter, Sam Bankman-Fried's FTT, was incredibly insulting. I would agree. How could you, it kind of reminds me like the whole thing of like, the SEC. What are you gonna do? You're gonna pick and choose certain projects? Now, if that's the case, let's go more into, let's get more into this whole debate of, some of this FUD. Is it warranted? It says there's no doubt this will create a FUD firestorm. It already has. Ask yourself, has anything changed with the project? And that's why I want to ask you guys. Has anything changed with the project or the management team? No. The vision? No. They have actually created more partnerships and news than anticipated thus far on the 2023 roadmap. Yeah, very true. Let's see if Hara can provide more information or clarity, but I'm not worried because I know what I hold. You gotta keep in mind, Hara does get some criticism for this and so on, and as a result, you saw the management team, come out literally an hour after his particular tweet. Just trying to give some kind of clarification. And now, of course, we have this whole thing in regards to emergency press conference, which we should tune in tonight in that regard. It says TLDR, Binance Innovation Zone is a place to trade new, innovative, and potentially volatile crypto projects. This is not a delisting. All crypto is volatile. All right. I want to go further down into this. There's one key guy who made a very good point. But the thing is this, a lot of people recognizing this point on other particular threads, especially on Reddit and so on, and they're thinking to themselves that, oh, I see what's going on. Yes, this is a direct result due to BNB's, project that competes with Jasmy. And let me just state this. It's not the same type of project. It may seem like it on the surface, but it's not the same type of project. So let me go further down into this. And you may be wondering, what am I talking about? It's this right here. He says, well said, brothers, from the Wolf of Mean Street. Shout out to him. He said, we can put a timeline on how Binance chose to do this in no coincidence. Excuse me. First delisted Binance US, then started their Greenfield project, and now this. Now, this is where people are like, okay, this makes sense. This is manipulation. And on the surface, I would agree with people until I took more of a deeper dive into this. So it says low volume. Nope. Jasmy has over 17 million in volume on Binance, while, ASTR has 2 million. This is strange, and I would agree with that. So people say, like, Chinese don't like Japanese. No way. And that's the whole thing. No, that's not the whole thing. Here's part of this whole thing. So on academy.binance.com, you can look into it for yourself. But it says, what is BNB Greenfield? This is, of course, the thing that was referenced. February 2023 saw the release of the BNB Greenfield white paper, which introduced a new structural and economic paradigm for data in the Web3 area. BNB Greenfield uses BNB as its native token and is the third blockchain in the BNB chain ecosystem after BNB Beacon chain and BNB Smart chain. In short, it provides decentralized storage infrastructure within the broader BNB chain ecosystem. So users and decentralized applications, as in dApps, can create, store, and exchange data that they fully own. The result is a new data-driven economy where all participants in the BNB chain ecosystem can now own, use, and monetize data. Now, some people look at this and they say to themselves, oh, monetize data. Who is another company that wants to monetize data? Yeah, you better believe it. Jasmy, right? With data democratization, obviously the whole concept of a PDL, personal data locker, right? On the surface, totally sounds like that, right? Introduction, Web3 is a vision. We know about Web3, right? But, they talk about transparency and data ownership are the next steps in unlocking Web3's full potential. As such, there is an increasing need for decentralized storage. Keep in mind, there's other decentralized storages that we know about out there. Like there's Flux, there's there's Filecoin, right? I'm into Filecoin. 3K in 3 days. I'm not complaining about Filecoin, I tell you that much. So while there's plenty of other competition, or I should say competition, but decentralized storage, is this legitimate competition to Jasmy? The answer, I hate to tell you guys this, is no. But some people are going to say, yes, it is, Max. And okay, we can agree to disagree. So, it mentions what is decentralized data storage. I mean, a lot of us already know about some of this stuff, but it gives its own education about BNB Greenfield. And if anything, we can learn something about this, right? The advantages, the disadvantages. I mean, you could take, your own, you could nerd it out, as I would say, when it comes to this, right? And again, somebody from like a holder from Jasmy, like myself, or the next guy can come here and they see some of the stuff like, point number 4, and they're going to say, more privacy. That's Jasmy, straight up. Okay, this is, this is something that competes with them. Max, you're wrong. And I would agree with you on some of this stuff. Like it says, another consequence of putting users in charge of their own data is that it substantially, increases privacy. Unlike a centralized entity, anyone looking to store data in a decentralized system need not submit personal information. I mean, just scratching the surface, a person could make that argument. All right, so enough about this, right? Because I mean, if anything, it gives you the whole thing about how BNB Greenfield works. I mean, these are all good things. Don't get me wrong, right? A native cross-chain bridge, all aspects of data stored, right? And they have a unique system, okay? But I thought to myself, you know what? What about checking out the white paper? All right, so when I checked out the white paper, I mean, data is mentioned 73 times in this particular white paper. And, I might sound like a guy who's making the case against myself, but even though data is mentioned here 73 times, I said to myself, well, I don't want to read, not that I don't have the time to do it. I mean, I could, but I don't want to make this a 2-hour long video. I don't want to go through 258 lines on many pages of a white paper just to prove a point. So as we know, since we talk about Jasmy and AI and so on, I thought I'd ask ChatGPT. And believe it or not, I don't exactly agree with ChatGPT on everything, because sometimes when it comes to crypto-related projects, they just don't have the info. So I asked, what is the difference between Jasmy's personal data lockers and Binance's BNB Greenfield, right? Let's just get right to the point. Jasmy's personal data lockers and Binance's BNB Greenfield are two different things that serve different purposes. Oh, really? Well, look what it mentions. Jasmy's personal data lockers are a type of digital wallet that allows individuals to securely store and manage their personal data as identity documents, medical records, and financial information. Jasmy uses blockchain technology to provide a decentralized and secure platform for individuals to own and control their data. The purpose of Jasmy's personal data lockers is to give individuals greater control over their personal data and to help prevent data breaches and identity theft. We already know some of these things, right? On the other hand, Binance's BNB Greenfield, listen to this, is a new project aimed at supporting environmentally friendly initiatives in blockchain and cryptocurrency space. BNB Greenfield is a fund that will invest in projects focused on sustainable energy, carbon offsetting, and other environmental initiatives related to blockchain and cryptocurrency. The purpose of BNB Greenfield is to promote sustainability in and reduce the environmental impact of blockchain and cryptocurrency activities. In summary, Jasmy's personal data lockers are focused on providing individuals with a secure and decentralized platform to manage their personal data, while Binance's BNB Greenfield is focused on promoting environmentally friendly initiatives in the blockchain and cryptocurrency space. So I thought I'd point that out, but the one key thing here is where it says promoting sustainability and reduce environmental impact, hence the whole thing for like carbon offsets and so on. Remember earlier we mentioned on the outline where Jasmy mentions that. So I mean, that would technically be the only thing I could say that the two compete with each other. Is that enough for all these delistings and things like that? CZ of Binance is so just gung-ho anti-Jasmy. I don't think so, but I could be wrong, and that could be the case. Again, I'm not saying I'm 100% right on this. So I wanted to, show you guys some of that, and it's worth pointing out to say the least. But what is really going on? That's what people are asking. Is this manipulation? Some people say this has to be manipulation, because Binance owns, what was it, like over 20%? I don't have an exact number. I think it's like 23%. 20% of all Jasmy. So they want to tank the price because Binance Japan is going to be coming out here soon, right? And my thing is, okay, that's a pretty good theory. Do we know that's really the case? I don't know. Will this get all revealed tonight? I don't know that either, right? I don't know as much as any other guy when it comes to this, but I'm looking at what we have recently posted, and I thought I would at least take more of a deeper dive into the whole thing with BNB Greenfield. And again, the only connection as far as the two competing with each other is just that, the carbon offsetting and other environmental initiatives, right, related to blockchain and cryptocurrency. All right, so that was some of the bad news that's happening. Is it enough for me to get out of Jasmy? No. Well, I recognize some of the dips. Yeah, you better believe it, right? We were talking about how we had support at 0.006, and then we broke into the 7. Some people were like, even myself, I was like, we're only about 0.3 away from a penny. Of course, this is now back into like 0.0055 area and so on. Will it tank more? Again, we'll see what happens. News does spread pretty fast, especially when it comes to a quote-unquote emergency meeting. I have seen people state that they have completely sold their whole position. Some people said at a loss. Take it as you want, right? How about some good news for a change, right? This is a lot of the bad news, I guess you can say. I'm not really worried about Jasmy personally moving forward. Here's why, right? I want to show you guys this. So, with all of the recent FUD that, let's face it, that happened, I'm going to blow this up a little bit more. I want to show you guys this. This is really something else. Shout out to, again, Dip Metaverse, and he kills it when it comes to some of the findings, like the thing with wits, you name it, right? So I believe he posted this earlier, was on the 8th. And I think, Hara responded in regards to some of this stuff. But, he originally posted this. One of the Jasmy whales I'm tracking has accumulated 503 million, over 1% of the total supply tokens in the last 20 days, and now has 783 million total, and is the 8th largest wallet on Etherscan. That's pretty exciting if you ask me. I believe Hara responded to it and said, this is technically, I think like an institutional wallet or something like that. And, some people are like, oh, okay, well, but, it's still worth pointing out. I would agree with that. All right. So that was big, right? Well, there's another post that he made earlier today. He posted this, I believe it was earlier today. Hold on a second. Yeah, May 10th, it was edited. And it basically says right here, that whale is still buying despite the news, added about 140 million Jasmy in the last hour or so, and is now the 7th largest wallet on Etherscan. I mean, holy cow, right? And here's some of the key highlights. I guess that's the biggest I can make it. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, if this guy is the 7th largest, wallet on Etherscan, added about 140 million Jasmy. I mean, some people say, well, this is, this is Binance or somebody connected to it and so on. Okay, I get that. But the point is this, with all the recent FUD going on, why would somebody want to add 140 million Jasmy? I'm just throwing that out there. Think about that one quote from, Warren Buffett about greed. In fact, I'll try to pull that up for you guys real quick. I'm sure you guys seen some of this. Warren Buffett. I'm about to have this primed and ready to go for you guys. Greed. Yeah, here we go. Let's pull up that quote. There it is. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. I mean, that's a perfect example of what's basically going on, right? All right, now to get to some of the good news, okay? I mean, in a way that this is good news. I mean, why would whales add 140 million Jasmy in the last hour? That's a good point. Here's some of the good news. Are you aware that there's the Teams, Web3 Summit? It's in Japan. It's on May 17th through the 18th. Now, why show you guys this? Well, because there's some key speakers here. But before we get into that, I want to show you guys this. This event will be broadcast in English and Japanese with professional interpretation and separate audio equipment. Now, people have stated, especially FUDders in the past, I want to see some actual interviews of this horror guy. I don't want to just see pictures. Okay? Maybe finally we'll have somebody who will record some of this. And maybe it is in Japanese, but they'll interpret it into English. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully that ends up happening. Here's a brief description. It says, an update of the Teams Blockchain Summit, the most influential blockchain event in Japan. Yeah. This summit will focus on the recent trend of Web3. It will promote the Web3 business development of Japanese companies through lectures by people active in the Web3 field from around the world and by deepening understanding of the Japanese market and the current international situation in the industry. Jeez. That sounds pretty innovative in itself, right? You see where I'm going with this. Pioneers and experts in the Web3 field, both domestic and international, will be invited to present their perspectives on technology applications. I wonder which one's being invited. Market demands and solutions, as well as to participate in panel discussions that will bring together people from a variety of industries and countries. Here's a brief trailer. Let's play that for a moment. All right, so there you have it on that. It says, for instance, 3,000 in attendance. You can buy tickets. Here's kind of like what it looks like at the actual event. All right, let me show you guys some of the speakers, obviously. Yeah, of course. Mr. Hiroshi Harada, CFO, Jasmy Corporation. You can click on his profile. And when you do, it says that he's a certified public accountant. We know some of this stuff, right? Certified tax accountant, certified management innovation. Anyway, support organization. After working at KPMG, AZSA, and Co. for 11 years, he joined Jasmy Corporation as CFO with a new mission of listing and utilizing proprietary crypto assets. He led the project and was the first Japanese project to be listed on Coinbase and Binance. And of course, we saw what recently happened with Binance. But the key takeaway here basically is what, guys? That, he's an innovator. Jasmy's an innovative company, to say the least, with what they're doing with Web3 and, personal data and where we're going with that for Japan and the rest of the world and so on. So with that said, I mean, do we panic in regards to all this? My key takeaway is no, not for me. I know some of you guys will do that. I don't mean no disrespect, but not everybody's going to do that. Some people are going to recognize some of the dips and, we're going to move on. I will also state this, all right? There could very well be massive bad news and, a complete delisting, let's face it, when it comes to Jasmy on Binance And a lot of people will sell and they will panic. They're going to be like, you know what? The sky is falling. This is the worst news. I don't trust this project anymore because of the whole thing with Binance. But it does make you wonder, is it really market manipulation? People have pointed that out. So I know I did a little bit of extended deep dive. Maybe it didn't necessarily have to be this long, but I wanted to point out some of these key things. And I want to hear from you guys in regards to this. Do you feel as though that it is true market manipulation from Binance because they're going into Japan on June 1st, roughly? Does that make sense? They just want to buy it on the cheap one last time? I don't know. Don't have those answers, but I think we'll try to get some answers here soon. Hopefully tonight in regards to this emergency meeting going forward. So that's me addressing some of my take on the whole situation. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you want to come to the live show, we're at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'm sure quite a few of us will be discussing this tonight. Have a blessed day, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.